Okay, so chances are you've heard his music. I mean, if you've turned on a radio, gone to a bar, or pretty much just existed online in the last year, you know the song. But who is the artist behind one of the biggest tracks on the entire planet? All right, let's dive in and get to know Shaboozey.
Yeah, we've got to start right here with this number, 19. Just let that sink in for a second. For 19 straight weeks, his song, a bar song, Tipsy, just completely owned the charts. We're talking about a level of dominance that puts him in a super exclusive club in all of music history. But what makes him so unique, right? It's this fusion. He's totally carved out a space for himself by blending that classic country storytelling with the rhythm and flow of modern hip-hop. And it's a sound that's hitting so hard right now because, let's be real, in a streaming world, nobody cares about those old genre lines anymore. We just want something that feels fresh, something that feels real.
All right, so let's really break down this record-breaking hit. I'm talking about the song that took over everything. I mean, the scale of this thing is just wow. We're talking about an 8 times RIA Platinum certified single. To put that in perspective, that's like selling 8 million copies in the US alone. And get this, it tied the record for the longest-running #1 song ever, matching Lil Nas X's Old Town Road. That is just, it's legendary stuff. And you know what? The achievement was groundbreaking in another huge way. He didn't just top the main pop charts. Nope. He topped the Hot Country Songs chart and the main Hot 100 chart at the exact same time. He became the first black male artist in history to do that. Just incredible. So, a song like that, I mean, it doesn't just materialize out of thin air. To really understand the music, you gotta understand the person behind it. And his story is, well, it's something else. Let's get into his Virginia roots and all those global influences.
Yeah, his backstory is anything but typical. So, he was born Collins Shaboozey in Woodbridge, Virginia. He's Nigerian-American, and his stage name, Shaboozey, it actually came from people mispronouncing his last name, which is kind of cool. He even spent 2 years in a Nigerian boarding school. And here's a twist for you. He originally wanted to be a novelist and a filmmaker. You can totally hear that storyteller's instinct in his music, can't you?
So you're probably asking, okay, but where does the country influence come from? Well, it's from the most amazing, unexpected place. His dad, who was a farmer in Nigeria, introduced him to it. He fell in love with all these country legends like Kenny Rogers and Garth Brooks and played them all the time. So imagine this mix. You take that foundation, and then you throw in Johnny Cash, the Afrobeat pioneer Fela Kuti, J. Rule, Led Zeppelin, even Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen. When you stir all of that together, you start to see exactly how this completely unique sound came to be.
All right, every rising star has that one moment, the one that just ignites their career and sends it into the stratosphere. For Shaboozey, that moment came with a little help from one of the biggest superstars on the planet.
And you can really see the buildup here on this timeline. I mean, he was already making moves. In 2018, he had Start a Riot on the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack. Huge. Then in 2022, he drops his second album, Cowboys Live Forever, Outlaws Never Die. But 2024 was the explosion. First, he features on 2 tracks on Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter. And right after that, a bar song, Tipsy, just goes nuclear.
And look, this wasn't just some random feature. Beyoncé herself personally asked Shaboozey to jump on the tracks Spaghetti and Sweet Honey Buckin' and contribute freestyle verses. She saw what he was doing, this unique thing in the country space, and wanted him to be a part of her project. That's a massive cosign.
And just like that, he was right at the center of this massive cultural conversation. I love this quote from Rolling Stone. They said Cowboy Carter lobbed the first volley in redefining country, but Shaboozey's music, that was a full-on barrage of all those possibilities.
What a great way to put it. Okay, so with that kind of earth-shattering success, you know what comes next, right? The awards, the nominations. The industry basically had to sit up and take notice. Just look at this list for a second. We're talking nominations at the Grammy Awards for things like Best New Artist and Song of the Year. Then you've got the CMA Awards, the Country Music Association nominating him, and he's winning too. People's Choice Award for New Artist, Billboard Music Award for Top Country Song. It's just proof that his music doesn't fit in one box. It's everywhere.
His Grammy nominations alone really paint the picture, don't they? You can see it right here. Yeah, a huge chunk are in the country categories, but then a third are in the general field, the big ones. And look at that, even a slice for rap. It just shows the insane range he has.
So when you put it all together, the feeling from pretty much everyone, critics, fans, you name it, can be summed up by this one simple, powerful quote from NPR. They called him the future of country music.
Which, of course, leads to the big question. If he is the future of country, what's next for this genre-bending star? Where does he go from here? Well, we've already got a pretty big hint. In March 2026, Shaboozey is actually scheduled to perform at the Academy Awards. And it's not just any performance. It's part of a huge tribute to Black influence on all of American music. We're talking blues, R&B, and yes, country. His place in that story is literally being written right now.
And all of this leaves us with one final big question to think about. With his totally unique sound and his barrier-shattering success, is what we're seeing with Shaboozey just a moment in time? Or is this the start of a much, much bigger movement that could change the future of music?